Welcome to Equine Photo School. Let's get started. Let's kick this thing off first by just learning about barrel racing and what's going on here, because it's not random chaos, even though it might feel like that at first. And sometimes it is actually random chaos. But we're going to go really fast here and kind of learn the basics, learn what's going on. And then I have also included in this course a free printable PDF download so you can see, what's going on. You can print it off, you can mark it up at home, you can take notes on it, do whatever you want. For those that are new to barrel racing, this is going to be very informative. Please pay attention. This electric barrier, right? Let's start here with this line right here. This is typically an electric eye. So they're going to have an invisible barrier there. There's not going to be an actual line, but typically they mount them on the fence, or they'll put them onto little tripods out in the arena. Do not walk in there. Try not to move at all during a run. So if somebody's running around this pattern, don't be running around the arena as a photographer, okay? That's how you get hated really quickly. So don't do that. Pick a spot, park it there, stay in one spot the whole time from what I've found. We're going to talk about that later on in the course, like where we're going to sit and all this stuff. But first of all, just don't make any moves like while they're in the arena, because people will hate you for that real quick. I've heard of photographers running through the electric eye while they're trying to run, and then it kills the timer and it messes up their whole run. They got to do it again. It's a whole mess. So first and foremost, rule number one, don't interfere with the run. Okay. All right. So what's going to happen here is they're going to come through this arena here, this outer line here that's kind of like rounded corners, and then this opening at the bottom. They're going to come through this opening here to follow these arrows around. So we're going to come in roughly here, and they're going to turn, and this is first barrel, second barrel, third barrel. The orange circles are our barrels. So they're going to come in here following these green arrows, and they're going to turn first barrel first. They're going to take a right here, and then they're going to come around that barrel, cut across the arena over here to second barrel, come around second barrel, and then head towards third barrel. And when they wrap around third barrel, they're going to be headed home right after that. That's what this is called, is running home. And so that's this last line right here. So they'll go through and they'll follow my mouse here. They'll go around this barrel, around that barrel, around third finally, and then they'll just run home as fast as they can. And then the timer stops when they get past this eye. So it starts here, they go around, and then it stops when they go there, and that's how they get a time. So the whole point of barrel racing is to go fastest around this pattern without knocking over the barrels. It's okay to bump them, but you can't knock them over. Most of the time you get a no time. If it's, some futurities and other things, they'll add seconds to your time if you knock over a barrel, but it's basically no time at that point because it's very competitive, right? So, it comes down to hundredths of a second often, to find out who's in first, and then there's all these D's, and there's this other stuff that we don't care about as photographers. It doesn't really pertain to us a whole lot, but I want to talk to you about the pattern, what's going on here. So most of the time, most horses are going to go to the right first. They're going to follow this exact pattern. Occasionally, the horses are better at turning left. So they'll start by turning left, and they'll do the same thing but different on this pattern. It'll basically be an inverse. Just flip this over, and it'll still kind of look like this, but just inverse. So they'll either go to the left first or the right first. Commonly, it's the right first. That's why they call this first barrel. Okay. Some people call it right barrel and left barrel and third barrel, but basically that is our pattern. That's what's going to happen every time on purpose. Sometimes you get some accidents and some weird stuff, but this is what we're going after. So this is what it looks like from top down, aerial view. Like if we had a camera, like a drone flying over the pattern, this is top down. Okay. So get that over. I think I've explained everything. If there's any questions, please put them in the comments at any time. Reach out to me. I will definitely, there's a spot for comments all throughout this course. So type it in there. I will get a notification and I will jump in there and I will help you out. So whether that means making a whole nother video or if I can explain it in text, I will. We'll make sure that you know. Okay, so please don't be bashful. Just ask away, ask all your questions, and I'll be sure to make sure that this is clear. So if anything is, clear as mud, let me know. All right, we'll fix you right up. The next thing we want to do is figure out where we're gonna sit. There's a lot of things going on here. So one, you could be creative and you could just kind of run around the arena and shoot whatever you want to, or you could try to do what other photographers that have come before you do, what I did. You're gonna find that there's people that will buy these creative shots, but you need to charge a lot more for those because you're not going to sell nearly as many of them, because there's a lot of people that come in looking for a very specific shot. And later on in this course, I'm going to show you all the different shots and where we're going to take those in each of these. But some people will just come to the booth and they just want this certain shot and that's it, and then they're going to leave, and they don't care about any other pictures that you got, no matter how cool and creative and whatever they are. They just don't want them. And some people, they don't want just the standard old stuff they've had before either. So the way I do things, I've got a cool picture for everybody. Okay, very few people go to my booth and say, "Oh, I didn't like any of those shots," right? So there are some things that I can't get from this spot, but for the most part, you're going to get a ton of great shots, roughly 8 to 10 shots on a run like this.